Folks, we are really starting to make some progress with the new Lego room now. Look, for the first time, if you look at it from the right angle, it doesn't look like a complete pigsty. It almost looks tidy. If you look at it from this angle, there's still work to do. There's still unpacking to do. But from this angle, we're getting there. Come look. So this is what I was talking about getting set up in the last video. We've got the row of modulars across that shelf. We've got another row ready to go on this shelf. We've got the train track and road in to a point. It obviously needs a little bit of tidying up and finishing off. Some of it got a bit smashed up in transit. In fact, talking of things getting smashed up, I did have the train running. I'm now afraid to turn it on again. I put this video on TikTok the other day. I'm still a very long way away from the Lego City being set up exactly how I want it again, but let's get our priorities right. We have the train shuttling back and forth automatically. And let's face it, getting the train working again was always the most important thing. Now imagine a world where we have a train doing this on both levels. Oh, why did it stop? It was working so well. No! Okay, it might need 1 or 2 tweaks. But as you can see, we have reassembled the train. I'm just afraid to run it again. I need to get some kind of buffer situation for the end here. So if it does go out of control, it can be stopped, not just fly off the end and smash, because that is a big gap we've got at the end there, but it is being stopped by the blue. And then over here, we've got a red tile, and those tiles, along with the color sensor that we've got in the main part of the train, which is underneath. I can show you in there. You can see we've got a little color sensor on the bottom of that. That is what's programming the train to go back and forth. If you want to see a video of that actually working and show you how I did that, I'll link to that down below. I had that set up in the old Lego room and it's working fine here. But I'm actually going to be moving that train down to the bottom level. So that train is going to be running down the back of this street, because I'm very aware that we're getting closer and closer to the Bricklink designer program stuff arriving, and the train station that I've ordered as part of that has the road access at the front and the train access at the back. So we need a train line that runs behind the modulars with the road in front. So I'm thinking we're probably going to put the train station here and then have the track run behind it, and then have it just running all the way along the back of this street of modulars, but have more regular gaps between the buildings. This is all the modulars we've got currently, although we have a lot of rebrickable ones at the bottom that we're going to be starting to put together now we've got space to display them. This really does demonstrate what I was saying in one of the previous videos, that despite the fact we're in a smaller Lego room, this new setup has given me so much more space for buildings, because the previous Lego City was full. As you can see, we've got room for another 10 buildings in this version of it, which is awesome. And that's without me really doing anything at the top other than just piling stuff on. And of course, once we've built all the stuff in these boxes, we've then got those shelves ready to play with. And that's without even mentioning the winter village, which is going to be starting here once I've finished getting the setup on this bit. But we're not here to talk about modulars and trains today, at least not initially. The plan for today is to light this up, because as you can see, with just the one light in here coming off the ceiling, the stuff on the shelves is very dark and you can't really see the stuff that's in there properly. So we need to get these shelves lit up. I did order something off the back of the previous video, which should solve that problem. I just need to remember where I put it before I tidied up. I just went and searched my office. I left them in here all along. So we've got some Elgato Light Strip Pros, 2 sets of these. And my plan with these is to have light strips running along the underside of these shelves all the way along. We're not going to mess around with all the fancy colours, just have white light. I'm thinking we put them towards this end rather than at the back. Someone said put them at the back or on the wall, but that's just going to light up the back of the buildings. If we put the lights as close to this edge as possible, my theory is it will light everything up from the front, which is where we want to see it all from. So I need to figure out how to get them attached. I think they are both sticky and also magnetic. So we've got the choice between sticking them on and maybe running them underneath the wood panel, which I don't think there is a gap in there to get underneath. I don't think we can do that. Or potentially running them along this metal edge and magnetize them on, or even stick them on there. I'm gonna have a little bit of a play around. What I do know is the plug sockets are behind all these boxes of Lego. So I need to get all of this out and get plug socket access as well, and maybe run an extension lead up onto this middle shelf. So I am gonna have a play around with all that. And hopefully next time you see this, it should be a little bit closer to being illuminated. Well, I've got the bottom one in. As you can see, my lack of attention to detail strikes again because it's not quite long enough to go all the way around. I don't know how I've measured it so badly, but it fills the width of that one, but doesn't come over this side. So I have got another set which can do the top row, but I'm then going to need a couple more to do over here. And at £50 a pop, we're probably not going to get them now. So this end here is not going to be illuminated for the time being, but I think that does a really good job of lighting up that middle shelf. At the moment, it's only magnetized on as well. So the positioning of it's not permanent. So that's just held on by magnets, which is really, really clever. The control unit can just magnetize on as well. So from that perspective, it is the perfect thing to use for the setup that I've got with the metal structure. So I think it works really well. I think it looks really cool. You can do any different colors that you want. Obviously, we just want like normal natural light, so I'll adjust the color profile a little bit as I go, but I think that does a very good job. If you look at the contrast between that shelf and that shelf, it's certainly a big difference. So now I need to get it set up on the shelf above as well, and then we can play with some trains, which is, let's face it, that's the main reason I'm into Lego. So I've got an excuse to play with trains. Well, folks, before you all go out and rush and buy these, I would urge some caution, because I've been fiddling with the other set for about an hour and can't get it to do any more than that. It did turn on, they did all light up, so I know there's not a fault in the thing. In fact, I've plugged this strip into that unit and it works fine. So I think it must be a problem with the unit. It originally connected to the app via Wi-Fi. I did the update and then it disconnected from the app and just hasn't come back on again. I've tried to do a reset on it and it won't go through the reset cycle that it's supposed to go through. I think this bit is just junk. I can't connect it to the Wi-Fi. This is a long way away from being the cheapest LED light strips on the market. It was £50 for a relatively short strip, which I got specifically because I've got every product Elgato make. I trust them as a company. All their other stuff is really, really high quality. I've never had a problem with them. And it has that magnetic part, which was a big extra boost for me. But it looks like I'm going to send this one back. So I think what I will do in the meantime is move the one that works onto the shelf that's got stuff on, package this one up to send back and hopefully get a replacement, and then maybe figure out a solution for the dark end of the display as well. I then also need to get on to clearing all this stuff away, which was the plan for the other part of this video. I didn't anticipate spending quite so long fiddling with LED strips that just don't want to work. But they really don't want to work. And it just flashes like that occasionally. It feels like it's got itself stuck somewhere somehow and can't get out of the stuckness that it's in, which is really annoying because I just want it to work and be cool because it looks really cool down there. Really nicely illuminated. I'm swapping them over. Okay, I'm starting to think this top shelf is just cursed because I've swapped the little control unit over. This is the one that wasn't working. I've put that one in, left everything else the same, and you can see the strip has lit up further, but not any further than here. So the strip comes to there, then it changes to color, and then it just stops. And I can no longer connect to it in the app again. So now that control unit is not connecting in the app either. I'm going to try and move the strip from the bottom that was working with that unit as well, but I am starting to think this is just not a very good product. If I've got two of them that are duds, I think we've got a problem and we might have to come up with a new plan entirely. Okay, I've now swapped the strip over as well, and as you can see, that does look infinitely better now it's actually working. I'm not a massive fan of being able to see the LEDs, so I might try and figure out a way to get them hidden underneath. This is the advantage of them being magnetized. We can kind of move them around and play with the location a little bit, maybe kind of tuck them on the inside like that. Does that take away all the benefit of them if we tuck them in there? It's difficult to, I mean, they don't want to stick, do they? But if we do that, I mean, it's not quite as bright now, but it's still pretty good. They're still not connecting to the app though. So I'm still fighting with this, but that gives you a much better idea of the look we're aiming for. And I think that does look really cool. Right, I think I'm officially giving up and sending one set of those back, and going to do the more expensive option that was suggested to me in the first place and I resisted, which is Elgato Keylight Minis, which I think are £60 each, and I'll probably need 4 of them. So it's twice the price, but will probably look better and will definitely function better. These are the kind of lights that I've got scattered around the room there. You can see there's one up behind me and just turns off and on at the touch of a button on my desk. So guess I'm ordering some of those. Can't even order 4 of them. I guess I'll get 2 from Amazon and 2 from them directly. Oh my word. Right, that's the return arranged for the failed lights that don't work. The more I look at that, the more I think that does look pretty cool. But I've ordered 4 of the little spotlights. So what I'm thinking is we could potentially still use these, but on the second row down where they were originally, because when they're down there, because they're not at eye level, you can't see that bit because you're looking at it from above. So I might move that back down there, and then we can have a light there, there, and then like here and here. So we have the 4 of them covering that area, and then the strip that works can do that bottom row where it was before. I've also arranged the return for the broken one. Did I say that? It's been a stressful afternoon. So now I just need to get that packaged up, ready to return, tidy up a little bit, and then I can finally crack on with this pile that I was supposed to be mostly finished with by now. When do you want to see me open the advent calendars, by the way? Because for my advent series, which I think is going to be as shorts and on TikTok, we've got the Home Alone set, which is obviously Christmas themed, and 24 bags. So I'm going to do a bag a day as a little advent series. So I don't really need to open the advent calendar. I don't need to be doing like 6 TikToks a day during advent. So do you want a video where I just open them all now and show you what's in them? Or is that spoilery? Let me know. Obviously, a lot of that stuff's going to go in the Winter Village anyway when I start building that. So it's like Spider-Man in a Christmas jumper. How could that not be in the Winter Village? And here we go. Some progress is being made. As you can see, the table getting ever closer to being clear. I think I've found all my speed champions now. I have ordered some parts off of Bricklink to put like basically a massive baseboard on the wall that I can then stick all the speed champions to. I've got loads more down here ready to build as well. So we're going to make quite a thing of a speed champions display in here. The last few bits that I've got still on the table, that's just loads of minifigs and vehicles that came with the modulars. There's a few bits of my beach. Most of my beach stuff is now down here. The actual beach base plates are in that box there. I'm not actually going to be setting the beach up. I say that might be the beach. We might do a little beach display down there, a smaller version than the one we had before, because I do like the idea of a beach. That's all the Minecraft stuff, which is going to be put away for now. That's all the Animal Crossing stuff that we put away for now. And that's all the theme park stuff that we put away for now. All 3 of those are future projects for the project table. Project number 1 on here will be the Winter Village. In fact, project number 1 will be sorting out the display for the Speed Champions, because I need space to build that and then get it mounted on the wall. But once we've done that, we will be starting on the Winter Village. And then when the Winter Village is done and packed away, that's when we move on to the next one of these projects. So the contents of those bags will go in containers like that, and either underneath this table, if there's room, which is probably not, or in the storage unit, and they will come out periodically throughout the year as we do different projects on this table. And the idea is those projects you can build along with me, keep up to date with what I'm doing. There'll be regular TikToks, YouTube videos, that kind of thing. But this is pretty much where I need to get to for today. I'm not going to get all the minifigs out on here until I fixed all these bits, and I need to get into the parts which are in the drawers to be able to fix all these bits. You can see I've got most of the vehicles out. They're obviously not in their final positions, but it already looks a lot more like a Lego city again. Now we've got a little bit of light in there and some vehicles. Once we add some minifigs as well, we're going to start looking good. This area at the top here, the more I add stuff to it, the more I'm thinking a lot of it is going to be like medieval, Viking, Dungeons and Dragons, pirate-y type stuff along a lot of the top, and then we'll keep the pop culture stuff to here and my office. So stuff like the Sonic the Hedgehog set that you can see there, the Groot on a Vespa, stuff like that will be on this side and in the office. And then obviously once we've built all the stuff at the bottom, which will be filling a lot of this shelf, we can have a new display area down there, which might end up being a Minecraft area down the bottom there, because I've always quite liked the idea of having a Minecraft area underneath the city. So we might end up even doing a permanent Minecraft area further on in the future as well. So it is all starting to take shape. That's the train station. That's the rest of the beach stuff. So we're nearly there with emptying this, and fingers crossed, next video, we'll have the lighting finished and we'll be able to make a start, or maybe even completely do the Speed Champions thing. Let me know if you want a video about the advent calendars, and then very soon we'll be making a start on that winter village, which I can't wait for. But if you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for us. Subscribe to the channel for loads more Lego content, including the return of the streams. And thank you very much for watching.